You may have noticed for this video, I am sat down in my very expensive Herman Miller chair and not stood up, giving the usual 5% more energy. That's because this is a bit more of a serious video. Don't worry, I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't want to make this video, but you may have noticed recently on the channels, that is all of them, Pyrocynical, PyroLive, PyroTV, there's been a little bit less output recently, and the output that has been put out there has been a little bit more sloppy than usual. So there is a lot I want to go over in this video. First of all, I want to admit, you guys were totally right. I am mocked relentlessly for my obsession with Sweden. You know, you've got weeaboos and they're like, place, I don't really care. And then place Japan, oh, sugoi. I am the equivalent with Sweden. And this month, if everything goes to plan, I am actually going to be moving to place Sweden. Now, I'm not sure if many of you know, but I'm 27 years old. I am an old man, and the entirety of my life, I've been living with my family. Now, most people pushing 30, admitting that they still live at home with their parents is one of the most embarrassing things they could ever admit. For me, it's the second most embarrassing thing I ever have to admit. I'm basically the equivalent of a NEET, but I get paid slightly more, and not from the government. It's from Google, my corporate overlord. The reason why I'm talking about this is because me moving, I'm going to be living completely on my own, and this obviously comes with a lot of things I have to start doing now. I'm pretty sure anyone that's watching this that's like 10 years younger than me and they're like at uni now, they're probably laughing at me. Fair enough, I'll give you that. But honestly, I'm really excited for it, genuinely. I think it will be a breath of fresh air. I'll be able to live completely independently. Will I be able to do it? No, I'll probably just do what XQC does, bail and end up getting a maid after 5 days. Now, you're probably thinking, why are you moving to Sweden? Why not try to network more like every other YouTuber? Why not go down to London or maybe live in LA in America? No, and hell no. Honestly, by complete chance encounter, I have met some of the nicest people in Sweden, like, for example, Seth Everman. And also, every time I post an Instagram story on there, PewDiePie DMs me telling me to get out of his country. To be transparent, one of the reasons why I've lived at home for so long is because, and I've said this before, my family are part of the business. They used to work as teachers, and then they've been incorporated into the company. And that's something that a fair amount of people do when they're running a business. They tend to get their family involved as well. Sometimes this can be good, sometimes it can be but for me, it's been amazing and honestly such a blessing that, you know, you guys watching the content, consuming all the slop has helped me to be able to get that revenue stream to be able to get my family into the business. So I can't thank you enough for that. But at the same time, I have had this thought in the back of my head for a while that, like, I need to actually get out. I can't just be making content in my office for forever. There's actually like a life I need to lead a little bit. And I know this sounds really bad, right? Like every single YouTuber going, oh, I had to wake up at 5 p.m. and I had to record a 20-minute video that my editors put together for me. Oh, my life is so hard. Honestly, I am very excited for this change. Obviously, there's going to be like a grace period of settling in. I might not be able to upload for a while because, you know, setting up the basics, the Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. So I do want to say there will be a little bit of a grace period where there might not be much content put out there. But again, I'm really excited for it. I think there has been a huge influx of creators recently that have been making videos trying to be more transparent. A lot of them admitting that they have been a lot more terminally online than they'd like to admit. And I really think that me moving out on my own, getting that independence, it's really going to put a boot up my ass to force me to do other things. This could be a change in the content. This could be adding more variety. I've honestly got so many plans this year for content. I can't say them right now. And believe me, I really want to. I am going to get into the content in a second. The last thing I will say about my move to play Sweden, it is crazy to think in retrospect because pretty much all the people that I know in Sweden is related to my job, to YouTube. So if you weren't watching and consuming the content to give me the platform that I have now, I would not know any of these people, and none of these people would know me. So that networking and me moving to the beloved Cry of Fear country is only really happening because of you. And again, I know I said this earlier, but I can't appreciate that enough. I don't want to say you guys. I know I keep saying that, but that just reminds me of the 250k sub video. You guys are just awesome. I know there are loads of YouTubers that have made similar content. Critical made a video a little while ago talking about how he basically just wanted to step away from drama content because his head was just stuck in the monitor all the time. Tommy in it, Minecraft YouTuber, he's done a series of videos trying to be more transparent and saying how, you know, kind of what now? What do I do next? Don't worry, by the way, I'm not quitting YouTube. This has and will always be my job. I just think over the past couple of weeks, I've taken some time away from the platform to kind of like live life a little bit and to understand that to make better content, I almost have to walk away from the monitor every once in a while. With all the pleasantries out the way, I have to talk about the content on the channel. Let's start off with the elephant in the room, the main channel, Pyrocynical, where I upload basically twice a year. You may have seen, or probably haven't because the video flopped, a video that I put out about a week ago. Not a lot of people liked it. It's on about a 10% dislike ratio at the minute, which for most people isn't that bad, but for me, it's absolutely cataclysmic. Now, I do want to go into my reasonings for making this video because a lot of people have said that this is an absolute betrayal, a backstab. It's led to people on the Pyrocynical subreddit to have absolute mental breakdowns over it. Now, one of the main reasons why I uploaded that video is because of Ludwig. That's right. I'm blaming you. It's all your fault. So as I've tried to stream more, I've seen Ludwig do a variety of content on his main channel, like for example tier lists, ranking games, but then also he does these videos where he will just watch the entirety of another YouTube video and go over it, like for example his Minecraft parkour series, where he basically just watched the video in its entirety and that got an insane amount of views and people loved it. And then I saw that and then thought to myself, why couldn't I do that? I mean, surely that'll be okay. Plot twist: it wasn't okay. To be completely transparent, one thing a lot of YouTubers have is constantly comparing themselves to other creators, whether that's the kind of content they output or the views. And I think the reason why this is so prevalent is because YouTube actively promotes this. Look, okay, I get it. Multimillionaire is making the big boohoo about YouTube Studio. I got a 10 out of 10. I'm sad now. Wipes eyes with $5 bill. The problem is at the minute, I feel like I'm at a tug of war with my own fan base. It's like a three-way rope and I don't even have a piece of rope to hold on to. So on this side, you've got people that want me to just put out as much content as possible. Anything can be content. Just upload more. Darkwood was 4 or 5 months ago. No. We need a video like that every single week. And then on the other side, you've got, I would say, the more nostalgic fans that have been watching for an incredibly long time, since like 2017. And they basically want every single video to be better than the last. I do want to say as well, I think nostalgia blinds a lot of people in some aspects. Jacksepticeye did a really good video talking about this, about how people say that, oh, you've changed, you don't like the content. And then Jacksepticeye, Sean, basically looked at the camera and said, I didn't change, you just grew up.
The old Sean. Yeah. It's like, no, you don't. You miss how you felt back when you were watching those videos at that time, because you were probably in school and you probably just came home from school and just watched videos all day and had a great time. But now you're growing up and now you have responsibilities and now you're in college and you have a job and you're probably stressed out a lot. But you think it's the change in the channel? It probably was a lot of me as well.
Now, I don't agree with that all the time, but I do think, like, for example, some people say to me, you know, they think the Utopia video, the Cry of Fear video, the Far Cry 3 video are like some of the best videos I've ever made. Go back and watch them. I'll be honest, it is 90% pretty much just plot summary and then me adding in a little bit of analysis. I'm not going to say they're bad videos. I'm genuinely not. Like these videos, honestly, even to me, they have helped me to go back to and just think like, wow, I put that out there. Like, damn, like, okay, I can actually make decent content. And I don't want to, like, you know, shatter your dreams or anything like that. You know, if you watch those videos and if you enjoy them, power to you. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch them because they are very, very long. I mean, the Darkwood video, for example, that was 8 hours long. And that was, you know, I know I've said this a million times. I'm playing it like a broken record. But with these videos, I always operate on a loss. I don't make any money on them. That's with editing fees, getting the rights to music, you know, animations for the project. A lot of people have tried to, you know, give me alternatives saying, why do you waste so much money on getting a specific music track? Why not just, you know, why not get something similar, or like a cover, or commission an artist to make a similar track? And it's like, no, because that's not the point. Like, I make the video to put it out there on YouTube, but I also make it for me. I know this sounds like kind of ego, something weird like that, but, you know, if I put a video out on PyroLive, I don't care. I might check it in the studio to see how it does, and then I kind of just forget about it. But these longer videos, I do go back to them. I do revisit them because I genuinely look back on them and I think, okay, I mean, I do talk about the plot a lot here, but overall, I'm very happy with this project. And it shows that people, you know, people love them. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to remove the Breaking Bad video, because I just think it kind of sullies the reputation of the channel a little bit. God, a YouTuber talking about his reputation? Cringe! Cringe! I have said on stream that I pulled the video mostly because it flopped, and it did flop. I think it's on like under 500,000 views at the minute, which is amazing. But for a channel that doesn't upload too frequently, that's not really very sustainable. But I think more because of the reason that I went over the video, and we did try to spruce it up, right? We didn't just upload a reaction one-to-one. We did try to work some edits in there. We tried to do some cutaways. We tried to make it more interactive, but it still didn't work because, you know, it's this comparison problem that people have on YouTube, and no one likes to admit it, I think, because if if you admit that you compare yourself to other people, you sound incredibly petty, but I think everyone does it to an extent. But obviously, if you work so long and hard on a project and then you see another YouTuber do the equivalent of a reaction and they get, 5 times the amount of views, you think to yourself, wait, what am I doing wrong? I don't understand. Now, I know this sounds really stupid, but recently, I've learned to be at peace with this constant race of competition and competing. And that is through the game Cookie Clicker. Now, I'm not sure why. I'm basically an old man. I'm playing a game that everyone picked up around 10 years ago. I only started playing it recently. But in Cookie Clicker, you click to get cookies. Then you get auto clicks. Then you get grandmas. Then you get farms. Then you get mines. Then you get factories. Then you get banks and temples. And it just keeps going and going and going. But the point I'm trying to make is you reach a point in that game where the numbers don't mean anything. You can pretty much purchase any building you want. You can do whatever you want. You're only getting numbers for the sake of it. And again, I know it sounds like a really bizarre comparison, but I think the problem with YouTube is, for a lot of people, it does tend to become this huge kind of numbers game. How many subscribers can I get? How many views can I get? The way that I broke my addiction with Cookie Clicker was going into the console, putting the dev mode from 0 to 1, unlocking everything, and then uninstalling the game. I can't do that with YouTube because that would be called money laundering, so I have to find an alternative. Now, when I make this move to Sweden, the plan is to up the content as much as possible. I already have plans to work with studios, set designs, to try to make the videos as good as they can be. But again, like I've said earlier, it's this constant tug of war of people wanting content constantly. Give me content now. Content. And then the other people that basically want every video that you upload afterwards to be more of a magnum opus than the previous video. I definitely am working on trying to get a better balance. I mean, at the minute, we are working already on a main channel video that's going to go out pretty soon, within probably the next week or so. If you're wondering if it's Fear and Hunger, no, it's not. That video is being worked on. Oh my god, I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I pick the most complicated games to try and break down. But surprisingly, the next video we're going to upload isn't actually a game review. It's not a reaction, don't worry. It's a breakdown of a TV series, which is, something that I used to talk about, like, for example, in Utopia. I think that's something I haven't really talked about a lot on the main channel, is like, reviewing films and TV series. I definitely do want to start doing that again, I think. I'm not really sure why I put the brakes on that and focus solely on the game reviews, because I had a very good balance there. The only problem is now it's current year, so I can't really put Logan Paul's face as the thumbnail for the review, because no one really knows who he is apart from crypto scams and WWE. Now, I do want to close out this video by talking about something I really shouldn't. This is me kicking the hornet's nest, but the Pyrocynical subreddit. Can I get like a thunderclap and some scary music? So the Pyrocynical subreddit is very split at the minute. I don't hate the subreddit. I don't hate the community. I think it is some of the most loyal people out there, but I think they're loyal to a point. I mean, a great example here is if I go on the subreddit right now and I look at the top post, it says quantity over quality, talks about the Darkwood video, pays a bunch of actors and YouTubers, bought a bunch of clothes for a bit, paid animators. The vid is mid and plot recap. Accidentally recorded his gameplay, one of the best videos on the channel. The Far Cry 3 video is pretty much like, please go back and rewatch it. It is 90% a plot recap. I basically opened up with the story, and then because my brain is moronic, I played through all of the side content first, and then like an hour into the video, I then got back to talking about the story. And it basically is just like beat for beat. I do add some analysis. I do add some edits, some bits, but it mostly is a plot summary. I don't really think that's a bad thing. I think you kind of need a plot summary to build the foundations to talk about something and keep it, like over 20 minutes in length. But I do think this subreddit as well at the same time is kind of washed with nostalgia a little bit. I mean, there's another post here that someone made. I mean, this is a very fair post. I know everyone's hating on Pyro for this extremely mid new main video, but can we all just band together and appreciate the Stalker 2 video and how worthy that vid is of being a main channel? It shouldn't have been posted to PyroLive. Views are ghastly for its high quality. So that was basically me playing like the opening hours of Stalker 2. It's about a 35-minute long video. It's sat on just under 500,000 views. And I mean, the video isn't terrible. It basically is just me. It's a stream highlight. But then what I did is wrote a script and basically narrated the game. So kind of breaking down and adding jokes, just for a bit more visual flair. So it wasn't just a complete stream highlight. And this post is saying that I could have put it on the main. No, I couldn't. No, I know for a fact that if I put that on the main channel, I would have been absolutely ass blasted for it. And the subreddit would have gone into a frenzy, basically saying how, oh, look, he's getting lazy, guys. He's using live stream highlights now, and he's just doing a little bit of quality. I still do check the subreddit because there are some genuinely good posts on there, and there is some very good constructive feedback. But a lot of it really does feel just to be contrarian for the sake of it. Like, they will criticize you, but not really offer any way to find a solution to that. Also, some people on the subreddit have become just completely self-aware. Like, for example, this one, PyroLive. Pyro is bad. I just need some karma. And he got 200 up, dudes. Now, regarding the subreddit, I do actually want to do a bit of an overhaul on it at the minute because I feel at the minute it's just a bit of a boohoo sub. I do want to turn it into something where I can interact with it. Like, for example, I mean, this video, right? If you guys have made it this far in the video, you guys probably watched most of my content, hopefully. I want to try on the subreddit reacting to it. I want to go over, I want to do live stream videos. I want to do PyroLive videos, maybe going over my subreddit and reviewing posts. Obviously, as long as they're related to the channel, please don't just post Daffy Duck, Trollface, or whatever, trying to farm karma. But I think, for example, that could be interesting content. I definitely do want to do something with PyroLive. I want to turn it into something else, transform it a little bit. I mean, the Stalker 2 video that I just went over earlier, that was a good video, and I really liked that video. Did it get the views that I wanted? Not really, but then again, if your entire recommended is filled with critical videos saying the poopy big butt chunga situation is insane, getting 2 million views a day, it just completely mind breaks you and warps your entire perception. I think the move to Sweden is definitely going to be very eye-opening for me, mostly because of the fact that I think it's going to help me to almost stay in my lane a little bit, not to compare, not to focus, because again, I've talked to many content creators about this, and it is an absolute plague because YouTube actively promotes it. So basically, TLDR, if you don't care and you skip to the end of the video, I'm going to try to upload more frequently on the main channel, not reaction stuff, but more kind of, you know, like films, TV reviews, maybe some kind of like more short form reviews while chipping away at the main content. And then on the live channel, I might be uploading less frequently, mostly because I'm moving soon, but also because of the fact that I do want to try different kind of content. I've already got a PyroLive video lined up at the minute that's being worked on that is completely different to what I normally do. It's not like talking about drama or yapping or anything like that. And I want to see how it does. And if that does well, then I know that I've then got the green light to be able to do more kind of like transformative content like this. Because honestly, this video that I've been working on for PyroLive, I think it's the most fun I've had putting a video together within the past 6 months. If you're wondering what the video is, I might as well spill the beans now. Basically, I've seen a bunch of threads on Twitter of indie developers shilling their game for around 15 seconds. These threads have got sometimes tens of thousands of likes, and it's just people showing off the game that they've been working on for about 15 seconds. Most of these games aren't even out yet. It's basically free promo, but they had demos, and I tried demos for loads of these games and basically played them for around like half an hour and longer if I enjoyed them, and then basically gave a little kind of review at the end. But also, more importantly, one of those games is the sequel to Cruelty Squad, Psycho Patrol R. At me. More money. Oh, money! And an energy drink! He made a pig noise when I killed him. Guys, I'm really sorry, but I'm kind of strapped for cash right now. That's a fish burger. Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't think you understand how much I need these resources right now. Yeah, actual classic Godot engine is just flying around. Bye-bye. And that was an amazing game. Obviously, it is incredibly unpolished at the minute. You can't even get the game. I think it's going into early access in March. But I really enjoyed it. The game has a lot that needs to be added. But despite that, it is definitely going to be... It probably is going to surpass Cruelty Squad. And believe me, it's definitely harder than Cruelty Squad because instead of dying in 2 shots, you die in 0 shots. Who's that? Oh, man. 1 person flanks you and it's over. 1 person flanks you. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. I know it's been a bit rambly, and sorry it wasn't me just reading over more mentally unhinged Kanye West tweets again. But I do think it's important to be transparent with content like this, to talk about what I want to do next, because I see a lot of people that complain about the content, or they wonder where I am, and they wonder what's coming out next. And I just want to be like, I'm doing this. But if you reply to like 1 single comment on Reddit, it's going to get basically no traction. So what's the best way to communicate with as many people as I can? By doing a YouTube video on it. I think the only way I can end the video is things are going to get better. Things are definitely going to get better. A little bit less sloppy, you might say. Also, when I upload a video and the background changes to a padded cell, that means I successfully moved to Sweden, by the way.